So without further ado, let us please welcome Professor Fajar to the podium. Thank you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much. The title is Indonesia's Research and Higher Education Peculiar Problem and its Solution. I know this is a very bold title to claim, and I hope to convince you in the next 15 minutes or 10 minutes that this is the case, okay? And the solution as well. Very bold claim, and I need to convince you, okay? It is about me. Okay. This is the title, and this is the key takeaways. We will address this, okay? And demographical context. Indonesia is the fourth most populous country in the world after China, India, United States, and then Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, and so on. Okay, so the first China, and then India, and US, then Indonesia. The question I'm trying to address is, I'm trying to provoke in your minds that, okay, Indonesia is the fourth biggest country, but it seems not really relevant in the international discussion. China, who doesn't know China? India is a lot of programmers there. USA, I think everyone knows that. Then Indonesia, okay. What to be said about Indonesia? Next. Okay, current situation among countries which have published more than 100,000 articles from 1996 to 2001, and this ranked by citations, and you have there, and Indonesia is over there. Okay. You can click here. It's live, and you can click in Samagu JR journal ranking from Scopus, and you can see that this is correct, and you can see that these other countries in Asia, Southeast Asia. You have Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia, and then Vietnam. In the spirit of G20, with still the same data from Samagu JR, you have Indonesia over there, okay. So this real, and you can access immediately now with this link here. It's in Samagu there. Okay, current situation again. You have there ranked by citation per document, and there we go. Okay, that's the other countries. Okay. Ranked by H index, and then there we go, Indonesia then, and yay, we are better than Vietnam at least. Okay, so this again data, hard data, you cannot deny it. Okay, finding the problem. There are many aspects involved in making a country's research and higher education enterprise. We know all of this. Government funding, research grant, teaching quality, facilities, number of PhDs, collaboration, industrial link. But one thing stands out when we compare how the system is managed in Indonesia and how it is run in countries with better research and higher education performance. It is the talent management. It is how you attract, retain, and make the best out of available talents, right? Indonesia is still struggling in this issue that, in my opinion, is very fundamental. There is one thing that is taken for granted in most countries, but non-existent in Indonesia. Okay, in Malaysia, Singapore, it's taken for granted, but Indonesia, almost nothing. Okay, let's see. Attracting the best brains. If you ever subscribe to mailing lists by ResearchGate or academic positions or many other services, you can see that jobs for you here, and there, and then you can apply there, here, and there in that institution. And it is common in OECD countries and even in developing countries that universities, research institutes placing ads for vacant academic position for everyone to apply. Academics can move freely between jobs and reaching every party. Just like any other professional jobs, chefs, engineers, accountants, store managers, and they have this thing called bargaining power. It doesn't happen here so much, okay? Doesn't happen here. Everyone is, I think it's nodding their head. Okay. Current employment system. For most lecturers and researchers in Indonesia, so if anyone recognize, this is LL Dikti, these private universities. This is BRIN probably, and these big universities, BHMN, and then small universities probably, there's talents, and then talents, let's see, WIN is over here. And once you become a lecturer in an institution, you practically stay there for life. Okay. Moving to other institution is almost impossible. When it does occur, it oftentimes becomes a bureaucratic nightmare. Promotion are decided in large by the state, not by the institution you are in. So this is very problematic. Okay. This has consequences. This has consequences. Repercussions. In general, talents do not have strong bargaining power in the face of institution they are in. Suppose you are a young lecturer as bright as Einstein teaching 8 parallel classes in an obscure university in a remote area of Sumatra. You just graduated, PhD in physics from Cambridge University, sponsored by LPDP. You publish 5 Q1 articles and you don't like bureaucracy very much. But practically you will stay there. You can't negotiate your pay. Your competence is mostly wasted. The nation which sponsored your study cannot make the best out of your newly acquired skill. You can move to other institutions that may be better in putting to use your expertise. Instead, you might move to Australia, which welcomes you and your Q1 level qualification. And this is also a problem for diaspora professors to join universities in Indonesia. In general, institutions do not have the incentive to give decent facilities for best brains. Despite their good intention, just don't ask for more. You cannot move anywhere anyway. Institutions assign irrelevant tasks to their PhD, since those people just can't go anywhere anyway because they're bargaining power again. So I have a very bright friend. He is in chemical engineering and he is graduated from, I think it's Waterloo University. Very bright and with Q1 level. But in a university, in I think it's Eastern Java, he is assigned to do things like to check the air condition because to manage the manual thing can be done by high school or other graduates, but this is a PhD and he can do nothing. But he is happy, inshallah, okay, because he get paid, but it is a waste of talent, I think. Lecturers are producing mediocre publications since the game demands quality more than quality, and research institutions cannot recruit the best talents available in the country because those bright people are locked in their current institutions. Bright young people are not interested in pursuing career in research and teaching, and then the government cannot attract and assemble the best talent for nation more serious research, and therefore many expertise are wasted. The solution, okay, I hope. Instead of control, you should empower the talents. I just make it quick. And of course, we have to implement best practices from abroad. Okay. Rules that sit well with human nature, essence comes first, paperwork comes later. We have to set targets for institutions, let them hunt for the best brain, just like any professionals. Talents are truly professional that have bargaining power, and professionals are mobile, of course. That's government and the system of overall game. So if you move from like ITB, then to LAPAN, Oxford, NASA, UGM, CSIRO, and so on, around the world, this will enrich everyone. Doesn't happen here. Okay. Some best practice, lecturers through professionals, they can negotiate, they are mobile, and so on. Attached to institution, not to the state, the government only meaningfully interfere. Government sets target and opt for institution, specific for its, I think for LAPAN is that, for this university is that, and so on. Okay. Institution may recruit talents for its targeted project and budget. Institution hunt and fight for the best brains. Promotion and reward system are set by institution as part of their effort to attract and retain the best talents. Professorships is given by institution may offer tenureship, and we have many discussions. Okay. Then. This is essentially what is common in the professional world. You have doctors, you have engineers, chefs, football players, pemain sepak bola, managers, reporters. All this field is professional in the sense that you can negotiate. What I mean is that, for example, chefs in this hotel, for example, he is paid, say, 20 million, and he got offered by other hotel, and your food is beautiful, it's delicious. just come to my hotel, I'll give you twice the pay you hear. And then he come to his current manager and his current managers, and what they say, okay, I get offered there, can I have a pay rise? That happens actually here, I mean in professionals, but not so much in lecturers in Indonesia. Reporters, TV hosts, okay, and programmers, they have bargaining power, okay, and so on, and also lecturers and researchers in other countries. So it is actually interesting that in other countries they have this mobile system where lecturers and researchers are professional. There is no country that is resembling Indonesia in the sense of how the talents are managed. Okay. What we need is then, if we implement that, it will be a healthy, natural, dynamic, positive feedback system that sits well with human nature. Institutions employ only the best lecturers and research they can afford. They hunt for the best brains. Institutions will make every effort to retain their best talents, offering tenure, for example, and unproductive individuals will not stand. This will motivate every lecturers and research every lecturers and researchers will do their best to stay recruited and vie for the main league institutions, and this will motivate the institution to make best for their lecturers, for their staff. Okay, and government just make targets. Accreditation is very important. The ranking and budget. So what we see, for example, in professional world, for example, in like what I just tell you, the chefs, for example, it is a healthy system in the sense that the chef has bargaining power to their manager, and the manager, the hotel manager, they have incentive to pay the chef. Okay, they will give facilities to the chef, and it is a positive victim. So one in need with another, but doesn't happen so much in Indonesia for researcher. Okay. Key takeaways. We argue that Indonesia's research and higher education problem is rooted in the way the state handles the nation's talents. State means negara. No natural and convoluted nationwide bureaucracy surrounding talent management renders talents to have very little bargaining power in the face of institution and hence very low mobility. And this in turn causes the government to not being able to attract and assemble the best talents for the nation's more serious research endeavors. Imagine, compare this, for example, NASA, when they need engineers to build their rockets, they just press out needed this engineer and so on. Or for example, other university in Singapore, Nanyang University, they need these talents in biology, in biomolecular, for example, biology. And then what they do, just press out, everyone is invited, including for inside the Singapore. So it's very healthy system. The solution, of course, to not having this, we have to do best practice from abroad. Yeah, that is in self-control, we empower talents. Let talents be professional and move freely. Institution, government should assign target for institution, not for talents. Set KPIs for institution and let them hunt for the best brain. Okay. Discussion, okay. Is there any guarantee that this will make the nation research output will be great? There's no guarantee, of course. This concept is a necessary condition because this is not a sufficient one. Because this is a necessary condition, what we can say is that not applying this will guarantee that the research output will be bad, will not be optimal, because this is a necessary condition. Is there any notion of academic tenureship? Yes, we will discuss it later. Will still be 3 Dharma perguruan tinggi? Of course there will be. And how about the underperformed universities? Will they collapse to the brain due to the brain drain? This is actually has positive impact. We will discuss this if you want. How to start implementing all of this? This is a very nationwide discussion. Actually, this kind of event should be hosted by Dikti, not only for QS. So this kind of discussion. This might also be an answer to many other problems in the country: undergraduate quality, lack of skill for Industry 4.0, K-12 teacher quality, K-12 student quality, PISA, if you ever read the PISA problem. If you want to see peace, work on justice. So this is a very famous. If you want to see productivity, work on fairness. So basically this the same thing. So you want to see peace, then make justice between that. Okay, and then with the same token, if you want productivity, then set on fairness for all the talents. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fajar, for sharing the brutal truth about the real problems in Indonesian talent management. And I do agree with your point about empowerment of the talents and being proactive in talents retention and in talent empowerment. And Dr. Fajar also showed us the real evidence of the research and innovation competitiveness in terms of citation and H index. So save your question later. I believe we have a few interesting points that we can discuss later.
Well, just short questions to Pak Fajar, the second speaker. Thank you so much. My name is Rugo Setiadi from Diponegoro University. I think your solution is very interesting, but I think free competitions underpins your solutions. But in the case of Indonesia, which is have a great inequality, for example, in Indonesia, because we have a lot of large area, a huge area in Indonesia. Does it is it will be workable for Indonesia, that kind of solution that based on free competition? Maybe we also would like to hear from other country if they have inequality, how it transforms from the problems to the solution that you suggest. Thank you.
Yes, so the question is about the Indonesian higher education system, the lack of flexibility, right? And so, so he thinks your solution is excellent, but is it doable in Indonesia? Please respond to the question.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the question. It's very, very good and on point. First of all, the thing that how we transform is how other countries transform. It is assuming that other countries. Let's talk about the OECD countries or better countries, because if you talk about like small countries, it maybe it's not relevant. But we want to be better, right? It is assuming that it is the step they take, but actually from the beginning, it's already like that. So from the beginning, like for example, if you say like Einstein in this university, and that when Einstein came from German to United States, he was not asked, where is your ijazah? Where is your ijazah? No, he's expert. They know. Let's put it in here. So there is a very good example, like you can find it in Wikipedia. It's called Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip, directly in Wikipedia, it's there. It is an operation from the United States government to grab the scientists from German. They put scientists in German and then and then move to US with their families to build the United States science and technology, rocket science. And what we can see is that now US in that time is very advanced, and then winning the Second World War and so on. So from the very beginning, they already did this. I mean, lecturers and researchers, just like any other professionals, like for example, like what I like to give example, chefs, football player, they can move here and there. It should be happening in Indonesia. I don't know why, how Indonesia come to this very peculiar problem. There is no other country that is managing, as far as I know. I mean, there is no like a big serious country that is doing its talent management just like Indonesia. Okay, now addressing the doability. It is very difficult. It is difficult, not very. It's difficult if we already here in this situation and we want to be like in free market just like any other countries. But it is still doable, of course, because the alternative is we are stuck in this situation, unfair situation for the talents. First, second, we do not have the capability to make the most of the available talents. So if you stuck in a very remote university, even if you as bright as Einstein, it's very hard for you to move to like the institution that will make the most out of you. Instead, you move to Malaysia or Singapore that welcomes you easily. It is happening in a university. I know really the man. So he is in this university. Okay, he is a civil engineer. Okay, the civil engineer is very bright. Q2, Q1, easy for them. He doesn't get paid that good. Actually, if he move to UI, ITB, or so on, it should be happy for them. But the system cannot allow that. Instead, what happened? He moves to Malaysia. Come on, you're expert. That's so come in. So the alternative is worse. Okay, but the problem that the Eastern Indonesia, for example, has this problem of maybe they cannot pay that lecturer very much, and they might be collapsed if this happening. Well, then instead the government should overpay more for that lecturer in Papua, for example. For example, it goes like this. We are looking for PhDs, a lecturer, PhDs in agriculture to be assigned in Papua University. We can pay you 30 million rupiah per month, for example. So Javanese said, "Jer basuki mamobeo." If you want to get basuki, if you want prosperity, you have to pay for it. Okay. So the solution is that okay, there's free competition. How about the problematic area in Indonesia? Well, the government should subsidize that university to pay better money for the lecturers. So it is an incentive for that. So it's good education costs money, and good lecturers, good professors cost money. The question is who will pay it. In that case, the government will pay the professors higher than the professor in ITB, in IPB, for example. So it will attract best brain to develop Papua, for example. So it needs discussion. I mean, this is not like a 1 hour session to solve the problem in Indonesia, but I think this kind of talk should be happening sooner, more frequent in Indonesia.
Yes.
I think that's all. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So I think part of the talent retention is about incentivizing. I do agree with you that incentivizing mechanisms should be in place so that you can retain the best brains. So I have a follow-up question on that. I do want to, perhaps the speakers can elaborate more on the brain drains problem in your country. And is your government aware of the issue, and has they done anything to fix or prevent the brain drain in your country? Anyone? Yeah. You can have my microphone.
Okay. Pertaining to the brain drain, I'm not aware whether this is a significant issue. And I think the government itself is aware that there is problem with talent management, but it is not like a #1 issue in their mind. So instead, they use this MBKM and so on. Actually, there is this thing. I think several years ago, we have the lecturer can move to industry, but for 6 months, and then they come back and so on. But it is not natural because they still have to do many paperwork. And the point I'm trying to making is that the employment system is pretty absurd for the lecturers in Indonesia. We have MBKM, Merdeka Belajar, KM-nya apa itu ya? Kampus Merdeka. What we need to have is dosen merdeka as well. Oke, saya kira seperti itu. Oke, I think that's all. Okay,
Alright.
thank you very much.
Yeah,
perhaps
maybe
shed
just
some light.
briefly. So maybe for you, Campus Merdeka is a program from our ministry that student can just move from one institution to other institutions, and we also, Pak Fajar also think it could be applied for lecture as well. But my brief answer for you and to all, I think the government hasn't really addressed the issue comprehensively. What has been done so far is just maybe each university have their own KPI, the performance indicators, by how inviting all the scholars abroad, or Indonesian scholars abroad, or diaspora programs to have more attention for the Indonesian development. In a way, there is a movement to that, but I think it's still been done incrementally. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
So from what I heard, I think the pay scale and the subsidies, there's no special subsidies to whoever perform better than the others. Right? Is that so?
Yeah.
So that
No,
I
we
think-
have subsidy actually in most of our what is PTNBH in bahasa ya? Government university we have state-owned university. I think there's a kind of subsidy system at the moment for the university have a greater achievement to
Okay.
improve based on the achievement on the performance indicators. Then they will have more subsidy compared
But
to
only
others.
to the institutions.
Yes, to the
Oh.
institutions.
Not to the individual.
It depends on the institutions how
Okay.
they will then distribute.
I see, I see.
To be
All
very
right.
honest, I've just got extra
Sure.
salary a couple of days ago because of these performance indicators. That's why I remember to address
Of
this.
course, we are all humans. I mean, human nature, we need incentives, right? So in how we incentivize our faculty, staff, academic staff in the higher education institutions are important for the talent retention again. So some more question from the back, please.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I have questions a question or more like a confirmation from Pak Fajar and Prof. Wiwin. So we talk about incentivize best talents, but I just want to confirm when you say incentivize, you do not mean just financial incentives, right? Because going along with Pak Fajar's analogy with chefs, let's say a chef who is really good at making pastries and he is recruited to a hotel or working in a restaurant, and that restaurant doesn't have a pastry machine. Obviously, his talent will be wasted, and he has the power to move to other restaurant who will provide him with the best pastry machine because he likes making pastry. Maybe that analogy also, like it says, analogy, it's applicable for universities because when you are really good at something and your university does not provide you with the best tools for you to exploit your capabilities, again, not because of the financial incentives, but because you want to make difference. So I just want to confirm and confirm if what we are talking about is just not just financial incentives. Because yes, financial incentives allow us to feed our family, but as long as everything, we have food on the table, I think it should be fine. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good comment. Yeah, I think a talent does need proper equipment, facilities, core facilities for research, a good laboratory setup. Yeah, so the kind of incentive I was talking about was about money, but also your points about facilities and technology in place for the talents to do their research, do their teaching are also important. Okay, so I think we, in closing, thank you the three presenters for their wonderful talk and thanks for the participation of the audience. You make this session meaningful. Thank you. Perhaps we can have a photo taken.